I hadn't heard his name in 6 years. 6 years, 2 months, and 11 days, not that I was counting. But the second I heard it in that meeting room, my breath caught. My fingers froze on the coffee cup. Aidan Wolf will be leading the merger. The air left my lungs like someone had punched me. He wasn't supposed to come back, not here, not to this city, and definitely not into my life again. Aidan Wolf was the man I once planned a forever with, until he walked away like our love was just a chapter, not the whole damn book. Now he's back, sitting across from me like he doesn't carry the pieces of my heart in his smile. The meeting ends, but my hands are trembling. He waits until everyone leaves. Then he says it soft, familiar, infuriating. "Hi, Olivia." And suddenly, I'm not the woman I became after he left. I'm the girl who still remembers the way he kissed my forehead when he thought I was asleep. "I didn't know you worked here," he says. I laugh, bitter. "I didn't know you still knew how to talk." His jaw tightens. Good. Let him feel the burn. But later that night, I stare at the ceiling in bed, haunted by the sound of his voice, and worse, by how much of me still wants to hear it again. The next day, I find a note on my desk. 5 words, handwritten, "Dinner, just to talk." I should rip it up, but my fingers won't let go. Asterisk, I told myself it wasn't a date. I told myself I'd wear something boring, something that screamed professional and emotionally detached. But then I stood in front of my closet for 30 minutes, until my fingers reached for the deep green dress he once said made. My eyes look like trouble. Pathetic. "Olivia, we met at the bistro on 7th because of course he'd picked the same place we used to haunt when life was still tender." He stood when I walked in, as if time hadn't weathered us both, as if he hadn't shattered everything. "You look," his voice trailed off, "older." I offered. He smiled faintly. "Real. You look real." I hated how those words made me ache. Dinner was quiet at first. Too many ghosts at the table. The candlelight flickered like it remembered our past better than we did. He asked about work, my promotion, if I still painted in the mornings. I didn't ask about him. I wasn't ready to hear about the women, the cities, the life he built without me, until he said it. "I never stopped thinking about you." I stared at him. "Then, why did you leave, Aidan?" He exhaled sharply, looking away. "Because I thought I was protecting you. I got the job in London. It was fast, brutal. I convinced myself it'd only hold me for a year. I thought if I let you go quick, you'd hurt less." "You thought wrong," I whispered. His eyes found mine, and I saw it: guilt, grief, longing. "I've thought of 1,000 ways to fix it," he said, "but none of them brought me here. You did. I should have left. I should have stood up and walked away from the table and the past and the way my heart thudded, like it remembered everything. But I didn't. I let him walk me to my apartment. The city pulsed around us, but in that moment, it was quiet, just us and the space between. Memories. He stopped at my door, hesitated. "I know I don't have the right to ask," he murmured, "but I miss how we used to breathe." I closed my eyes. Then I kissed him, not out of forgiveness, not out of weakness, but because in that second, I wanted to remember what it felt like to burn. His hands held my waist like he still knew the shape of my soul. But the kiss didn't fix anything. It just reopened everything. I pulled away, breathless, furious, trembling. You left me once, Aidan. Don't you dare make me fall again if you're not going to stay. And before he could answer, I shut the door. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt his hands, his mouth, his regret. I could still taste the apology he didn't say, the longing we didn't bury deep enough. My pillow became a war zone between dignity and desire. The next morning at work, I wore black. Not because I was mourning, but because I needed armor. And Aidan, he looked like a damn contradiction in a navy suit, regret dressed in confidence. He didn't mention the kiss. Neither did I. But tension clung to the air like static. Midway through a strategy meeting, I glanced up. His eyes were already on me. That looked like I was the only person in the room used to undo me. Now it just made me furious. After the meeting, I stormed past him. But of course, he followed. Liv, wait. Don't call me that. I snapped. We stood in the hallway alone, again, like fate kept handing us opportunities to ruin each other. I didn't mean to cross a line last night, he said. I lost myself when I kissed you. You didn't lose yourself, Aidan. You found a piece of the past and tried to own it again. His face cracked. Is that what you think this is? Ownership? I folded my arms. You don't get to come back and rewrite history. He stepped closer. What if I don't want to rewrite it? What if I want to finish it? That broke something in me. Because the truth, I still loved him. God help me. I never stopped. But love without trust is just longing with a heartbeat. So I did what any rational woman would do. I fled. I took a mental health day, turned off my phone, and went to the place that always knew how to hold my chaos, my sister's art studio. I painted until my fingers stained with color and pain, until the canvas was just shades of green and navy. Him and me, colliding. That night, there was a knock on the studio door. I didn't move. It opened anyway. Aidan, soaked from the rain. Breathless. Desperate. I was afraid if I waited, you'd never open a door for me again, he said. He looked at the canvas, then at me. You're still inside me, Olivia. Every song, every city, every failure I carried you. You think I'm here just for closure? He walked to me. I'm here because I want the rest of my life to be with you. But if all I get is 5 minutes in your presence, I'll still be grateful. My eyes blurred. My voice cracked. You broke me, Aidan. You shattered the girl who thought forever came easy. He nodded. Then let me meet the woman who survived it. Let me earn her. I reached for his hand, and for a moment, it felt like forgiveness was possible. But then my phone buzzed on the table. 3 words on the screen from a name I hadn't seen in years. He's lying again. Asterisk. The message hit like ice to the chest. He's lying again. It was from Claire, Aidan's ex. The one he swore was just a momentary mistake during our breakup. The woman whose name was once a wound, and now a warning. I stared at the screen as Aidan held my hand, completely unaware his past was knocking on my present. I need a minute, I said, pulling away. He looked confused. Did something happen? Just give me space. I left him standing there, dripping rain, and hope, and walked out into the night like the truth might chase me down faster than he could dot in my car. I finally called Claire. She answered on the second ring. Her voice was tired, not bitter, just resigned. I wasn't going to say anything, she began. I figured if he was really trying this time, maybe I should stay out of it. But then I saw your picture in that article, the merger announcement. You were standing beside him, smiling like he hadn't left you shattered. Claire, I whispered, what is it? He's not here to stay, Olivia. He's been interviewing in Zurich for the last month. Global expansion. He only came back to finalize the merger. He didn't tell you, did he? The world tilted. No, I said. He didn't. I'm sorry, she added. I know what it's like to believe him. I hung up. My hands trembled on the steering wheel. Anger, betrayal, heartbreak, none of them were new. But this was like reliving every goodbye he ever gave me. The next morning, I didn't go to work. I waited for him outside his hotel. He looked surprised when he saw me. Olivia, you're leaving, I said. The lie died in his throat. His face tightened. I wasn't sure how to tell you. You don't get to play savior when you're already halfway out the door, Aidan. He stepped closer. I wasn't lying about how I feel, I swear. But you were lying by omission. I snapped. You kissed me, told me you missed how we used to breathe. But the whole time you were packing up your life again. I didn't know if I'd take the job, he said. I still don't. I came back for you. But I'm scared that no matter what I do, I'll ruin you again. I shook my head, blinking back tears. No, Aidan, you don't get to use fear as a shield. You either choose me or you don't. Silence. Painful. Telling. I love you, he said finally. But maybe love isn't enough if I keep hurting you. He turned and walked back inside. I stood there on the sidewalk, completely still, as if moving would make the pain real. That night, I went back to the studio. Alone. I painted him one last time, not as he was, but as I needed to remember him. Fractured, distant, unreachable. And me, stronger in his absence. I locked the studio and stepped into the night. And there he was again. This time not Aidan, but Daniel, the man I almost loved in the years Aidan was gone. He looked at me and said, please tell me you're finally done chasing ghosts. Daniel's voice landed softly, but it struck deep. Please tell me you're finally done chasing ghosts. He stood there in the amber glow of the street lamp. The same man who held my hand when I couldn't breathe, who brought me tea the morning my father died, who once whispered, you don't have to be strong with me. I hadn't spoken to him in months. I didn't expect to see you. I managed. I saw your car outside the studio, he said. Thought maybe you needed someone real tonight. The words didn't stab, they healed. He looked down. I never wanted to be your backup plan, Olivia, but I never stopped hoping you'd remember who stayed when he left. My chest cracked. Not because he was wrong, but because he was right. Aidan left, twice. Daniel never did. I kissed him. I confessed. And I wanted it to be a beginning. But it felt like a rerun of heartbreak. Daniel nodded, quiet. I'm not here to compete. I'm here because I still care. And I hate seeing you break yourself for someone who only ever shows up half the time." He turned to walk away. "Daniel, wait." He stopped. "I don't know what I want," I said. "But I know what I don't." Another goodbye dressed as a promise. He smiled soft, sad. "Then maybe it's time you write a new story." The next morning, I asked for time off work. I packed a small bag, got in my car, and drove out to the coast where silence didn't feel empty, just honest. I watched the waves, thought about Aidan's kiss, and Daniel's steadiness. Then I did something I hadn't done in 6 years. I let go. I took a paintbrush and sketched a new canvas. No faces, no names. Just a woman standing alone on a cliff, wind in her hair, arms open to the sea. No longer waiting. That night, I texted Aidan, "You were my first great love, but loving you meant losing me, so I'm choosing myself this time. Goodbye." I didn't cry. I exhaled. Then I sent one more message. "To Daniel, I don't have all the answers, but I know I want honesty, and someone who doesn't walk away when it gets hard. If you're still willing, maybe we can take the long road together." His reply came almost instantly. "I'll meet you there. No rush. Just don't walk alone." Months passed. Daniel and I didn't rush. We talked. We laughed, we cried, we rebuilt not on nostalgia, but on truth. And one morning, I woke up beside him and didn't feel haunted, just held. Final line: some people come back to your life to remind you what you survived. Others show up to remind you what you deserve. And sometimes, love isn't the one who broke you, it's the one who stayed.